I was just watching near-death videos on YouTube, and everybody's talking about the year 2025. I think that's bullshit. I don't think the tribulation starts in the year 2025 or the rapture or any of that crap. We got a lot more years ahead of us. Anybody who's a storyteller and likes stories, story reader or storyteller, knows what a good story is made out of and knows what a underwhelming story is made out of. God ain't coming right now. It's a shit story if he did. Trust me. If anybody wants to have the coolest story, it's God. There's nothing cool about premature ending it all. God isn't coming right away. As I'm listening to these people tell this, first of all, it's an AI voice, and I've told everybody, hey, don't take NDE stories or anything spiritual very seriously if it's from a computer-generated voice. A testimony needs to come from a person who experienced it. Even if they experienced it secondhand, they can give their secondhand opinion as a secondhand observer. But you should not tell a first-person story as if it was you, if you were a secondhand participant. And AI voices are real easy to spoof. There's a ton of people in the psychic community and the Wicca community and the demonic community that type up these AI written stories with little twists and wickers in them, and then they get an AI voice to read them to plant the seeds of flawed theology. It needs to come. It's okay to listen to them, but take it not as serious as you would if it comes from a person who's going to put their name and reputation on their story. The video is talking about just how tons of people are going to hell because they couldn't forgive. That's believable. That's true. Why is it important to learn to forgive? The whole story of the Bible is about forgiveness. You get fucked over, then what do? How do you handle it? And I've always wondered, that's such a stupid thing. That in and of itself is not a very interesting story. Getting fucked over repeatedly in life and then learning to forgive, kind of a boring story, actually. Out of all the narratives, why would the highest God of creation and all knowledge and wisdom pick that one? It's kind of a dumb, boring story. There's nothing really cool about forgiveness. I've even personally said unsubstantiation sounds like a better concept than future redemptiveness, but the God of the Bible is clearly interested in future redemption more than he is on unsubstantiation. But that's because I don't think scars are cool. God does, clearly. I think the scar is a cherub or a shrine, an enshrinement of the victory of the damage. And I think it's more awesome to undo the damage and not even have the scar in the first place. God disagrees. God is a God who likes scars. He likes to tell the story and then how he came around and made it better. Cool, fine. Turns out the Christian Bible is a future redemptive one. Moving on. Why is forgiveness so important? As a guy who builds neural networks, I realized something. Every neuron, we're all neurons in the neural network of God's creation. Every human is a form of a neuron. And we send an impulse, an activation signal up. And every neuron's going to get stepped on. Every neuron's going to get fucked over in a learning and training process. everybody's going to have some uncomfortable offenses, some pushing ons that hurt, and cutting us off of things that we don't want cut off that hurts. But when you realize getting fucked over in this world and learning to forgive and just keep moving gets you to the destination of being God's creation, will become a fully initialized neural network. When we become a fully initialized neural network, when we get to the destination of runtime, it's worth it. Did you lose some girlfriends along the way? I did. Did other people lose children along the way? My grandma did. Did you get hurt along the way or offended, or did someone fire you for the wrong reason? Of course, there's tons of injustices. And why is forgiveness important? I actually have figured out the mechanical reason why. The mechanical reason why God sees forgiveness as being so significant is neurons that can't forgive in the neural network of God are, in a sense, not teachable. They're going to cling on to something, their prior weight, or the thing that did them an injustice, that it was wrong, and they're not going to move forward into what they're supposed to be. And it's actually an evolutionary requirement to learn to forgive, to continue to get to where you need to be. And that is why forgiveness is so important.